Been using Lightroom for about 11 years. I think I started Lightroom 4 and it's up to 6, CC7. I don't know what it's called right now. But recently I sat down with another photographer and we kind of set up in how they cull their images. If you don't know what culling is, it's when you upload your images to your computer and then you decide on what you're going to keep and what not to keep. If you're a working photographer, you never delete in camera. You know that you upload everything and you decide on that later. We make our mistakes, we shoot, we upload. So I'm gonna show you guys actually how I cull about 100 images, kind of go through a hypothetical scenario, and maybe what I'm gonna do is give you guys some tips and tricks. So this video is simply how to cull your images. Let's go. What's going on, guys? It's Jeramie with Jeramie Lou Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. This video helps you anyway. Give it a thumbs up and then click that bell for notifications. It'll just tell you every time I come on. So guys, just like my intro said, we're going to go through Lightroom here. I spend a lot of time on the computer, and I don't want to, but I used to spend a lot more time on the computer. I know that a majority of the time that I used to spend was culling my images. I shoot a lot, guys. I am one of those people that when you talk to photographers and they tell you, hey, you don't need to shoot that much, time your shots, make sure that each click means something. That's not how I shoot. I overshoot. In fact, in a portrait session of about an hour of a family, I will probably shoot about 1,000 images. A wedding, I'll shoot 4,000 to 6,000. And if you do that too, that's totally freaking cool. Who cares? Digital's cheap now. You can do it. You have extra batteries. You can do it all night long. It's ridiculous to me how photographers say, you know what, if you're shooting over 250, 500 at a wedding, you're doing something wrong. It's not old school mentality. We overshoot, and if you don't like it, you throw it away. That's simple as that. But you're going to have to store all these images and you kind of work through it. And the only bad thing with shooting as much as I shoot is the culling process, is going through your files, picking out the ones that you want to keep and you don't want to keep. So I'm going to kind of go through that and talk to you about it right now. One of the hardest issues I have is I actually shoot my family every single day. I shoot about 100 images of my kids every single day. I upload them and they just sit on my computer. Well, right now we're dealing with the coronavirus. So we're at home. We're at quarantine right now. It's April 3rd, PPP day, so Payroll Protection Program day. So I just finished all that. And right now, looking at my computer, we're going to open up Lightroom and I'm going to start working on some of these images. The images that you're going to see are images that I've already culled, went through, and actually rejected, meaning that I can do whatever I want with these images that you're about to see and nothing's going to really affect me. And I did that on purpose because I don't know what I'm going to do with them, play with them. Not going to really get into editing right now. We might, I don't know, but this video is really just about culling, I hope. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let's get into it. So I'm gonna open up Lightroom here and show you guys what we do. Hey guys, all right, so we're back. I'm up here in the corner, the top corner. I don't know how to point to this. I don't know where I am. I'm over here in the corner. So guys, right here, you're gonna see about 100 images, actually 100 images exactly. So what I do is I upload my images, I upload them into a generic folder, and this is kind of how my culling process goes. So take it as you leave it. If you have comments as I go through, please let me know. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload our images. You just shot 100 images, you shot 200 images, you put them on your card and you upload them. I upload them into your basic uploading system. Oh, this is hard. This is harder than I thought. So guys, when I go to import my images, I import my images just like anyone else would. And we actually will have a full import video on how I set that all up as well. But everything right now theoretically goes in the 2020 folder right here. And this is your catalog. This is kind of where everything goes. And I automatically, in my mind, as soon as it's uploaded, create a collection. So you're going to see this collection here that we've created. It's called Zero Test or 0/test-test. And I did the 0 just so it's up top so I could find it easier. All I'm really doing out of this, guys, is I'm taking the images and throwing them into a catalog or a collection that I know where to access them. Now, we're going to assume that these 100 images that you see right here I have not seen, I have not gone through, I've just shot them and I walked home. So we put all these images into a collection to start working. one of the cool things that I've done right here is I have a collection you're going to notice, and I know it's small, guys, depending on your screen, it's called Unedited Client Images. I have another one called unedited commercial images, unedited personal images. So as soon as I upload any personal files, it goes right into this gallery. Right now I have 8,638 images. A few days ago, it was like 20,000. I've been spending a lot of time on the computer lately because of the coronavirus. So what I've done was I've created a mock image of that, which is 0 test, which is 100 images. Long explanation on why I'm here, but this is why I'm here. This is important because when you guys go through to CULL, you need to make sure that the images are all together so that you can kind of look at like images as you go through. We're going to be using our keyboard here. So we're going to be using right, left, and we're going to be using X to kind of do everything. So there's a couple ways that we're going to do this, and the funnest way for me is I am a very type A person. I like to delete things. I like things to be gone and be unseen. So the first thing we're going to do is you want to make sure you have a very big screen. I'm working on a 27-inch iMac. If you guys had anything, a laptop or whatever, and you can get a bigger screen, the bigger the screen, the better. And you're going to see me move this thumbnail section all the way over. So if you guys notice now, you can see 8 images on the screen at one time. Even if I close this, I still see 8 images. This is probably the most important tip that I have for you guys, because in order to cull quickly, you need to see the images that you have in order to cull them. So the first way I'm going to teach you guys is not using any systems at all. We have our filters down here. If you guys don't know how to get your filters, you actually go up here to the attribute channel here. So attribute closes and opens. So if you notice that bar right here kind of comes and goes. Let me move myself, attribute. And what I have selected down here so far, so that's my attribute, whatever you click up there will actually show up down here as well. This is to select your filters. So these are your flag folders. This is only show me what's rejected, only show me what's selected, and show me anything that has no flags at all. Right, so no flags at all, anything with no flags. And what a flag is when we hit X, we actually will reject an image. So if I hit X right here, you're gonna see this X show up on the side here, and that shows me it's a rejected image. So let's say I X, and X these ones, right? If I select this X right here, it's only gonna show me the rejected images. If I select this one, it's flagged images. So if I flag this with anything other than the reject, then it'll show me as well, but these are for nothing that's flagged. So I had 100 images now it shows me 96 images because I flagged 4 of them with the reject. These are very important to know just as you're kind of going through your galleries and your systems, because sometimes I'll accidentally reject something, or I'll go through and I'll select and forget that I've rejected it, or lost the image, and I can actually go through just the rejected ones and then find it, especially if a client's like, hey, Jeramie, I really love this one image. I don't see it in there. I'm like, oh, I know I deleted it. So I can go through my rejected folder and find that for them. All right, so my culling is pretty simple. So I have 100 images in here. Guys, all I'm doing is I'm using a 2-hand system here, right? In fact, I have a palette keyboard here as well that you guys can't see. So palettegear.com, they just changed their name. I can't remember their name. They're sending me new stuff. But basically, it's like a little keyboard. But let's just assume you're just using keys. All we're using is our left and right keys. So I'm just moving left and right on my keyboard here itself. And we're just gonna select. The reason that we want this big screen is that we can see everything on the screen. So all I'm doing is I have my left hand on my X, my right fingers on my left and right, and I'm just gonna go through this, right? So this is my son Jet here, and I always go for people's views. I want people to look at me. I kind of know what I wanna go for. And also, the reason that I'm selecting this way is, see how these 3 images are pretty much identical, right? He's doing something a little bit different. I shot these probably within 2 seconds of each other. So I'm just gonna select the one that I want the most. So the first round of culling right here, we're just kind of going through and we are picking the ones that we want. This one's kind of out of focus. I don't like his eyes on here. And get as nitpicky as you possibly can. Guys, this one's totally, oh, it's not out of focus anymore. Get as nitpicky as you want, and what's gonna happen is that you're gonna cull them down. Traditionally, I would say if you keep about 25% of your images, you're doing good. So 100 images here, if I can get 25 images, I'm happy. That means that I'm not editing 75 images that I don't need to edit. When I shoot 1,000 images for a client, if I can deliver 200 proofs or so, then I'm good to go. So right now we are just culling for either proofing or editing. We don't know. Obviously these are personal images. I mean, I like this image because it's funny, but I'm already at 50, right? I'm already at halfway through my culling process, and I don't have to spend too much time going through it. What I don't want you guys to do is I don't want you to go into this screen right here, which is a main screen, and do this. I don't want you to go through and each image, because what happens is you forget the image that you looked at before. You forget what you're keeping and when you're not keeping, and you're just really going to keep more of them than you are. So use this screen. If you have a really cool like LG like 43-inch screen, this will even look cooler for you, and you can go through. I have a 27-inch, so I can actually even do something like this and still see what I want to see, but this is kind of where I'm at. And I get into kind of like a little Zen mode as I'm going through here, right? So we're kind of just picking what we're picking, doing the thing, right? These are all kind of focused, eyes are closed, so we're just kind of deleting. Like I said, these images these are, believe it or not, all deleted images already. These are images that I said no to, meaning I shoot a lot and I shoot fast. My son's running right here, so basically I have like little shots in between that I've kept. My daughter, something in front of her nose. So we're kind of culling this. So we're gonna cull. We're just culling. So I cull through twice, and what that means is I did my first cull here. Now, as you can tell, right, it looks a little, let's make this smaller. Right now, our culling system is working, but it's showing me both the rejected and kept folders. Notice I'm not using 1 through 5 system at all, and notice I'm not using the 1 through 5 system, meaning I'm not tagging anything with the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 rating on the stars. You can see the stars right here and the stars right here as well. I'm not doing that at all. All I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm rejecting or selecting. That's all I care about at this point. Keeping it very simple for myself. Now, what we want to do is we want to cull through again, right? So I would say I've typically on the first time around, I've done about half of the images. About half of the images in the entire gallery have been removed. So if I shot a wedding, this will obviously take me a lot longer, and it does. It sometimes takes me an hour or so to cull through, but that's the longest process of my editing, because I want to make sure that I'm deleting everything I don't delete. I want to make sure I'm keeping the things that I do keep. So I don't want any crazy, I want to take the time to go through to make sure I'm doing due diligence for my client. What I need now is I need to be able to just see the ones that I've kept. And remember these filters right here. So we have these flagged filters. Again, you can hit the attribute on top. They should be right here as well. We are going to select the middle one, right? So if I select the X one, it shows me everything that's been deleted. So I'm going to see everything. If none of the flags are selected, it shows everything. If I select the middle one, these are just going to show the ones that do not have any flags at all. I lied. It's called, what does it say here? Filter based on flag status, unflagged only. So these are not flagged, unflagged. I guess I was right. So these are unflagged completely. I always get confused on it. Sometimes I'll click on one, I'll see nothing, and I'm like, I clicked on the wrong thing. So coming back up to here, now I have 53 images, about half. I want to keep about 25% of my final images. Guys, I'm saying that as a personal recommendation for myself. You guys can keep all of them. I don't really care. You know, it depends on how much you want to edit. These are personal photos to me, so I don't mind keeping more than I should, because I'm just going to throw them in an archival anyways, and I can always go back and look at them. But for my client, you don't really want to show them everything that you shot. It's just going to boggle their mind a little bit. So keeping 25% is really good. They used to say 10%, but no, my 25% is pretty good. So let's cull this one more time, right? So you're going to be with me really quick here. Oh, you know what? I kept this button hit. So let's go back to this. Cool. So here's what's going to happen on the second round of culling. And this is something that I like to do on the second round only, just so I can start to clear my mind a little bit. So I don't really want to see the X's anymore. And I do this for a personal reason of I don't want to go back and overlook anything. Honestly, guys, once I hit the X on something, I will never look at it ever again. In fact, I'm going to remove it from my collection, so I'll never have to look at it again. I will keep the raw file for about 3 or 4 months after delivery just to have it. But look what's happening now. So remember that we selected the middle one, which only shows us the unflagged images. Once I go here and say I don't really like that one anymore, see how it's gone? It's just gone because it's an X, right? So we X'd it, so it's gone now. So now the number of files, I'm pointing to the screen like you guys can see me. The number of files is 51. So they're going. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to kind of, at this point now I'm nitpicking because the first cull I've gone through and I've really just kind of removed duplicates, removed eye close. So now I'm just kind of going through and I'm like, do I really like this image still? I kept it for a reason. Do I really like it? Eating, you know, stuff like that. So we're just going to kind of cull through really quickly. Popeye face. I'm going to keep the Popeye face here. And we're just going to go through. So we're just kind of rocking through. Obviously, the more that you have, the better. This is a great time for you to throw on a podcast, put on, I wouldn't do a movie or anything, but throw on a podcast, listen to some music, and you kind of zen out. This is when you can have conversations with people. In fact, I used to do Facebook Live and Instagram Live and YouTube Live while culling. I just didn't really want people seeing the photos anymore because my clients would watch them and be like, oh my God, you deleted that. I love that one. Little did they know where that my process. So 29 images is what I have now. That was a quick cull. Again, these are all going to be gone anyways. So guys, that's how I cull my images. From here, I will then edit my images. So I'll go through and I'll actually do a batch edit of everything, and I can do it very quickly. I will go through a video on how to batch edit for you guys as well. I'm not going to do that today. We're going to keep this simple. This is on just how to cull. And I have 29 images now. Here's the thing. If I unselect this, I still see all the images that were there. I tend to just remove these. When you select just the X with the flag in it, it shows you all these. I will Command A, select all, you can Shift all, and I will actually just hit this delete button. And since it's in the collection, when I hit delete, nothing else shows up. It doesn't say, Jeramie, do you want to delete everything for the rest of your life? Nope. It just leaves that collection, guys. So now I can click this, and this is everything that I see again. So this is everything that's in my gallery. From here, I can edit them. Once I do my edits, then I start to flag everything or start to rate everything, but I'm going to do the edit first and all that fun stuff. So guys, let me know if you have any questions on that. A super simple culling process. I've now brought it down to 29. From here, you can then create other collections, keepers, black and whites, send to client, send not to client, or actually at this point, if you aren't going to edit them, say you're doing headshots for a client, this now becomes your proofing gallery. So this is ready to be exported, or you can take this to a client meeting and say, here are the images that I'm keeping. From there, you can just have them go through and you can go 5-1, 5-1, and they can continue the cull with you. Or they're like, I really don't like that. And by the time you're done, maybe you have 5 or 6 images that they love, that you'll edit and they will purchase. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. I feel like I ramble on these things, but this is how it works. So that is it on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If this video helps you anyway, give it a thumbs up and then click that bell for notifications. It tells you every time I come on. I appreciate the support. In the last year and a half, my subscription base has like quadrupled. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and chilling while I'll do stuff. Hope you guys having a good day. I will talk to you later.